Okay, so here we are back with the relays. Now, for the sake of less confusion, I'm going to take the 80 amp one away, because this is the one most guys are going to work with here. This is the 30 amp one we talked about originally. So, if you break this down into its simplest form, it's very easy to understand how it works. It looks confusing with all the poles here all together. Take the 3 poles out. Don't look at those for a minute. The 3 poles in the center, forget about those. So you notice you have one on each side here. This, think of this as your switch. Okay? Doesn't matter if you put positive here, negative here, or positive here, negative here on these terminals. Okay? It is going to power up the coil, which flips the switch. Looking at it, the way this is set up factory, these would power up your coil, the 2 end ones. And doesn't matter which side you put where, it's going to work the same. This is where you put your positive feed. The power you want to go to the accessory is coming through this one. Now it's not going to the accessory yet. That's handled with these two. The 2 up on top. Right now, the way this is set up, if you plug power into this, power will come out of the center terminal. This will be your connection. That's the way it's set up when it's unpowered, when you have these 2 terminals unpowered. So plug power into here from the battery, you'd have battery power coming out of the center. You would have nothing coming out of the top. So what you want to do is, when you want to power up an accessory with this powered on, you'll take your switch, run power from that to the positive of this terminal or this terminal, whichever one you choose, and then ground the other side. Now when you flip your switch on, this will power up, it'll flip the switch. Your switch will flip from internally inside this relay, will switch from this terminal to this terminal. So if you want your accessory that you're powering up after you have your switch connected, you are going to plug your accessory, whether it be a light, whatever it may be, to this terminal on the top. Okay? Because that's normally dead. So when you flip the switch and you energize these terminals, energize the coil, I should say, with the power and ground of these 2 terminals, this will flip from having power to this terminal in the center to the terminal on the top, and that will light up your light. Now, you know, we can go with all the numbers on the terminals and stuff, but a lot of times it's better to look at it. 87A is powered up all the time. That's where the switch is normally set when the coil is energized. Not energized. And when you energize this coil with these 2, then it powers to this one. You know, that's the click you hear. That's the lever flipping forward to power up this terminal and kill this terminal. Okay? So, that being said, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense there. I'm trying to make it in layman's terms. Same with the 80 amp relay, exact same thing. So, just with bigger terminals. So, I put my 80 amp relay in here, interrupting the positive from the battery like we talked, and the outside terminal, the top one, let me grab that relay here. Okay, so this is how the relay is in there, just like this. I have a plug on here. That's what makes this look so different. Okay, so what I've got going from the circuit breaker is right going to this big terminal here, the power terminal. Remember, like I said, that's the power terminal we talked about. I have power coming from my switch to one of these terminals. Like I say, you can do either one of these, and then ground the other side. And then I hooked, since I wanted to be energized and powered on, I hooked my fuse panel. There's a yellow wire on the connector going to the fuse, is on this terminal, the outside one. Okay? Not the center one. If you do it in the center one, it's always powered on, and when you energize it, it'll turn off. It'll do exactly the opposite of what you want it to do. Okay? So, that you'll hear that click, that'll turn on. Now I'm powered up on my fuse panel. Okay? We're going to use that same theory for everything else. So I used a bunch of these relays, okay? You notice that there's 2 more relays here. That's for each one of the upper light bar and the lower light bar. I've got more, this is more for the strobes and the turn signal system, okay? So this is going to be a little more intricate. You guys may not want to go that far. I'll go into that in a minute as to how far you want to take this. So it depends how fancy you want to make the system and do what you want it to do. So all the switches, I have the switches powered up from the fuse panel going to the switches, okay? And then I've got it set up so that when your accessories turn on, then the switches become live, okay? All my grounds are coming back from all my accessories through the ground terminal that I have running through there. The only thing I have left up on this accessory pole is going to be the accessories I want to run when the key is on, okay? So wipers, what else did I do? Oh, my bully dog gauges, which is part of the programmer system. And then I have it set up with 1 more wire on this. And all we're taking from here is signal to feed to this relay. So I've got this relay fed with 2 powers. I have one with an accessory switch. So when I turn this switch on, I have power to that relay. Or if I turn the key on, I got power to the relay. Now, if you're familiar with electronics, how did I do it where I've got the same terminal powered up with one or the other and not feed back and charge up my system? That's the trick. So, what I got is going to get this out here. Actually, I'm going to stop this one more time and go to the next video here. We're getting close to my time. I'm not going to get very far into it, so I'll start on the next one.